No, we actually have some time before the end of the day. I believe we've got like 54 minutes. 4 minutes, apparently, for other discussion if we follow the schedule. So if there are any other questions from the audience about any of the other talks that happened today, please feel free to ask.
Any talks in this afternoon or morning as well?
David.
At least somewhat inspired by one of the talks. I'll see if I can set off an explosion, which is, there were lots of discussions back when I was on the FSWIG as to whether the supernova survey was going to basically use spectroscopic redshifts or whether we were going to go for those, beautiful larger numbers and think we could use photometric redshifts and beat the systematics. So, where do the supernova pundits stand on this question right now?
I'm just the chair here, but I see you're directing this at me right now. I'm just saying. That was, I like that. Okay, so. Send it to the, you mean the CCS? Yeah, so that's actually something that happened in a discussion this morning when we were talking about, where are we going to get our redshifts from? Are we going to get, use the prism spectroscopy? Are we going to use the GRISM? Are we going to use photoses? And these are all questions that are being discussed at length. In addition, we had a lovely presentation by Bhavin discussing these sorts of things as well, and the numbers of filters that you might use. This is still up in the air and for discussion somewhat. So I would definitely advise you to speak to the high latitude time domain chairs for the CCS, which is Masao and Brad, and have this maybe brought up again as a topic. But there's also, I believe, the PhotoZ working group that's happening as well, which at the moment is being led by Harry Ferguson. So I would suggest getting involved in that. So that is my answer. Jeff Crook.
Inspired by David, I will.
Is this at me again? Should I just hide behind this pillar?
Actually, the question will go to anyone in the audience who wants to answer. At one point, there was a lot of thinking that we would just observe the host galaxy redshift with PFS and just do every host galaxy and not worry about how well we could do photoz's. And I was wondering, is anyone still taking that strategy seriously or not?
Using PSF?
PFS.
Yeah, PFS, yes. There has been, I believe, this week discussions about using PFS. Thank you. And again, you might want to track down Masao, who may have been having some of those discussions this week. But Julie also wants to contribute to this conversation. And there's a meeting, I believe, in Japan that's happening.
That's what I was just going to say, that the right place to engage in those discussions would be to call into the Roman Subaru meeting the week after next, which will be at a lovely time of day for people in the US.
So this is also virtual as well?
Yes, it
Wonderful.
is.
I will be having an odd time zone next week, or the end of the month. And Ben Rose has a comment to add?
Is that better? Okay. The consideration that you need to do is the trade-off between partnering with Subaru and partnering with Rubin. If you're in the continuous viewing zone for the high latitude time domain, you basically just get one or the other. So we were talking today with the committee that's working on the survey definition about it's likely that they will recommend at least 2 fields so that you can have both synergies.
They're going to have questions for you. And Russell Ryan over on the corner there.
Back to David's question about the photoz's. Bhavin looked into some examples where without the blue data, the R band from Roman was maybe sufficient, but that's expensive to obtain. So without coupling to LSST Rubin, it becomes pretty challenging to get photoz's free of really nasty degeneracies. Maybe, yeah, we didn't look into HSC. I think that's probably an equally good solution, but we were only considering Rubin at this time, but we'll look into it when we get back. So I think it's probably dubious. The error is one thing, it's the outliers that were really worrisome, because you can't really pick them up by any other means. Thanks.
Other discussion points? If not, then let's thank all the speakers. Thank you very much.